Hello race fans, and welcome to this edition of Inside NARC, where we get set for the Peter Murphy Classic on Friday, May 12th and Saturday the 13th at Kings Speedway in Hanford, California. It's actually going to be the first racetrack that we visit to for the second time this year, and it'll be a double header. First time that the series has went there since April for the Anthony Simone Classic. We've got a great list of guests coming up here, talking about the Peter Murphy Classic, talking about their hopes for Hanford, and a couple of good Peter Murphy stories in there as well. That's next here on Inside NARC.
It's California's biggest sprint car party. 2 Wild for One night, this Friday and Saturday night. It's the Peter Murphy Sprint Car Classic. West Coast Sprint Car Young Gun superstars Corey Day and DJ Neto take on Golobic, Kaeding, Allard, Selzy, and so many more at Kings Speedway, powered by Keller Motors, Hanford Fairgrounds. Action starts 6 p.m. both nights. Check out RaceKingsSpeedway.com. Friday night and Saturday night is Speedway night.
Well, we're going to kick things off with the general manager of the NARC 410 Sprint Series, Jim Allen. We dialed him up earlier this week talking about all the great things that are going to be happening at Kings, as well as Napa Auto Parts, part of that regional sponsorship for the Central Valley races. Well, Jim, the PMC coming up this weekend. Sounds like we're going to have a really strong field of cars, and no doubt it's going to be a great race at Hanford as we go back to Hanford.
Yep, one of the best things about the Peter Murphy Classic is that, most races that we have, they have a buzz to them, hey, we're going here, we're going to Antioch. One thing about the Peter Murphy Classic is that it's become an institution here in California. Everybody marks their calendar, 2-day show, 2 solid days of racing. Peter goes out of his way to give us a good racing surface. We have pageantry and all those other things around it. We got the pole shuffle, and I think it just gets everybody excited and gets everybody pumped up for the rest of the sprint car season. So Peter he does it right, and that's a good thing.
And this is one of those deals where for it to be a marquee event, this is something that he works on not just like a week or two before the race. It's a year-long effort.
Yeah, I was just surfing through social media, and it's like, oh my gosh, he's got some interviews. I had to learn my Australian accent interpretation there to make sure I understood everything that was being said.
Yeah.
But he's all over it. That's the way you promote a racing event. And like I said, I think it truly creates a buzz. And I would be shocked if we're not standing room only come Saturday night.
And it sounds like the amount of cars that are going to be there, it's going to, if you like big car counts, check that one. Hanford's put on the Anthony Simone Classic, was a great race. Check that. It's going to be a great night of racing. It's going to be a great weekend overall.
Absolutely. So, Friday night we got the Race Saver 305s. There's probably going to be 10 or 15 of those. Peter just added the Kings of Thunder 360s, which I think is going to spike the field because Sprint Car Challenge Tours there on Saturday, and I think that gave all the 360 teams a good reason to go hang out in Hanford for the weekend, and then us. So, and then on Saturday night, just Sprint Car Challenge Tour and the NARC Sprint Cars. Fully loaded program. If you are an open wheel race fan and you're not at the Peter Murphy Classic, you better be in an emergency room somewhere.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
And of course, it being in the Central Valley, that's a big deal too, because our friends from Napa have been just a great amount of help this year.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Just got off the phone with the Napa people, and they're excited to be part of our series, and we're really looking forward to growing that in the future. And, like I said, the exposure that they get from events like the Peter Murphy Classic, makes that relationship that much stronger, that much tighter.
Not only did we grab drivers that currently race with us that are former Peter Murphy Classic winners, we also grabbed Kyle Hirst, who we haven't seen race with us in 2023 yet, but he talked about his big win where he swept the weekend in the second annual Peter Murphy Classic.
For the sport and everything he has done for the sport, it was always one on my list that, as soon as he put it on, not just because he ran out of the money, just so I could have been $1,000 to win, but to win it in Murphy's name just has so much to it because he lives and breathes for us to go racing pretty much, you know what I mean? And so to win that was pretty special, and have being NB of 1NZ when I did do it, because I had 20 times I thought I was going to do it, and I hung her in the old Tulare fence. So to do it that year and everything, it was pretty special.
And then what do you remember? Anything you remember about that weekend? Like everything just clicked, or the car was fast out of the box, or you guys have to chase it all?
I can't remember last week, let alone that long ago. All I remember is standing on the top of the wing with him and Paul Baines, and I know we got it done. So, but yeah, we were just good. I mean, I was good there plenty of times to win it, and I hit the fence. But that's Tulare's feast or famine. Is you got to be fast doing that, but it can bite you. And that night it didn't bite me, and we were able to pull it off.
Another driver to be on the lookout, the Works Limited number 57, going to be piloted by Shane Golobic. Shane, a former winner of the Peter Murphy Classic. He's next.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Peter Murphy Classic as we, do every year. We're always pretty excited to go to Peter's race. Always a good event. This year, 2 days being at Hanford, be a little bit different than kind of what you're always used to. Is usually it's at Tulare, but Hanford's always been or the last few years has been a really cool place to go race. So looking forward to it. Be back in the Works 57, Works Limited 57. So that'll be cool to be back in that thing for 2 nights with the NARC series. So looking forward to that, and hopefully maybe we could pick up another Peter Murphy Classic win. Got one back a few years back, and hoping to try and get another one. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm sure the racetrack will be good. I'm sure we'll get a lot of cars down there, a lot of really good teams and drivers. So we'll show up and support Peter in his race, and really looking forward to it.
Grabbed a word with Bud Kaeding, another winner of the Peter Murphy Classic, and his hopes going into Hanford.
Definitely looking forward to getting back to Hanford. I feel like our cars are been getting better race by race this year. I think we're kind of catching the lead draft from where we've been at. We've had a lot of success at Hanford over the past, last 25 years. Just kind of fell off here in the last year and a half. But I think we're picking back up, kind of getting back to the front of the field, and hopefully we can carry that on into this weekend. Winning the Murphy was pretty cool when we won it back there a couple years ago. Losing a long-time supporter of ours, Bob Miller, the day before, and then obviously, driving the zero car and then winning a race at Honor and Pete. It was pretty cool. Pete's, always been a good friend of mine. Since I met him when he moved out here racing with Maury and Katie. And, he's just, I don't know, we've always just kind of hit it off. Always had a lot of respect for him. He's always been good to me, been a good guy around the racetrack, good to bounce stuff off of, whether, it was information, knowledge, or just having a good time. And, it was close to winning the second one there a couple years back, and smacked the fence on the last lap and blew our retire off it coming from the checkered. So, we could get our car back in the front Friday night and just kind of pull off of that for Saturday night. Peter Murphy Classic, being in the top 3 would be great, but everyone's getting faster and it's getting tougher to win these races. That's for damn sure. And our guys have been working hard in the shop trying to get our stuff better, and hopefully that work will pay off this weekend.
Next to get interviewed is the current NARC 410 points leader and the most recent winner at Kings Speedway, Corey Day.
Yeah, definitely excited to run the Peter Murphy Classic this weekend. Hanford's my favorite track, and the 14 car is really, really good around there. So I'm happy to have another, big race there. A lot of money on the line, and to be racing in Peter's name is, really cool. He's been there. My first ever sprint car race was at Hanford, and he was there the first night I raced, and even being promoter and track guy and doing everything else that he does at the racetrack, he still cut out time in the night to come over to the pits and ask how I was doing. And he's just a great guy. Just the sport of sprint car racing is blessed to have Peter Murphy, doing what he's doing, and especially California sprint car racing. So definitely excited for this weekend for sure.
We grabbed a word with Chase Johnson, one of the top 5 runners in the NARC 410 point standings, headed into this doubleheader.
We're definitely looking forward to the Peter Murphy Classic. Pete's an excellent guy and somebody that does a lot for our sprint car community now and today and the years past. So to be able to celebrate him and his career that he had is pretty cool. I'm always a big fan of races that we can have and celebrate, the person being here still with us today, doing like a Peter Murphy Classic rather than a memorial, just being able to have that person experience, all the grateful people that are in the sport. And Peter's got a lot of those people around him. So he does an excellent job at Kings Speedway. So we're looking forward to being there for 2 days. And, running, of course, with NARC for being there with 2 days. It'll be a good time. And also be running the 360 for Quinn Motorsports as well. So double duty on tap, and wouldn't have it any other way. And to be a blast, should be a bunch of fans. Pete's always got something cool going on, something cool cooking. So if you're a fan, you're definitely gonna see a great time and a bigger thing than just the race. Pete does a great job at promoting an event instead of a race, and he does an excellent job at that. So with all the added entertainment, it's great. So make sure to bring your friends, bring your family, and bring whoever else you want to bring to come see a good race.
Justyn Cox and the Bates Hamilton Racing entry will return to Kings Speedway for 2 nights of racing. Here's what Justyn had to say.
I'm excited for the Peter Murphy Classic. I've been to most of them, I think, over the years. I definitely was at the very first one, and actually took a 360 to that event that year, just to pay my respects to Peter and everything he's done in his career. Obviously, Peter's a staple of wing sprint car racing and non-wing sprint car racing in California and all over the world. But yeah, I'm really excited just to go race. He always puts on great events. He does a lot of fun things with his events. And he's done a lot to Hanford and really spruced the place up over the years. So I think the 42X team with Bates Hamilton Racing, we have a decent package there. And we seem to get better and better each time. And I think we have a great shot to contend for some really good finishes this weekend. And it makes it really fun when the team gels well and you got a lot of confidence going into it. So just excited to get back there, get going, and have a 2 really fun nights. We'll be doing double duty on the second night as well, so it'll be pretty busy.
The last time we were at Kings Speedway with the NARC 410 series, Ryan Bernal, he won in the non-point non-wing race, and he had a really interesting story to talk about Peter Murphy in his first days of racing.
Okay, well, I got a quick little story for you. When I first started racing 360 sprint cars, it happened to be at Hanford. And obviously, a young kid coming in, I knew exactly who Peter Murphy was. Rolling around mud packing, and I'm again just a young kid, pretty intimidated. And I look over, we're mud packing, and I look over, and Peter's in the pink Carlton car, and I look over at him in mud packing, and he's just got a middle finger right out the side of the car. Just flips me off. And it was just an all good fun. That's just the kind of guy Peter is. Regardless if you know him or not, he's going to crack a joke with you. And he's just always, since that day, I got to, I met him, and Peter's been an extremely good human to me, and he is to everybody else. And I'm excited. Every year I look forward to the Peter Murphy Classic. It's just a great event, and we all love Pete and what he's done. What he's done in racing, what he's doing for racing. He always tries to change things up and make things more exciting for the racer, the fan. So yeah, no, I'm excited for another Peter Murphy Classic this year, and love supporting the guy.
We caught up with Concord's Joey Ancona, one of the young Lions up-and-comers, part of that big youth movement. And here's what he is hoping to accomplish here at Hanford this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, really excited to get back to Hanford. It's really where I started my sprint car career, even before Peter took it over. But Peter was always there. He was always around, and he was a really big mentor for me when I first started, because he knew I, had the skill to do this, but we just really couldn't get it going there in the beginning. And after the races, he would always come over, talk to me, and help me with the setup stuff throughout the night, and even after, just give me kind of like a pep talk and keep my spirits up. So to be hopefully in contention for this big of a race, and just something that honors him, for everything he's done at Hanford and just his whole entire sprint car career is pretty cool.
And another young driver, Dylan Bloomfield. Dylan Bloomfield going to be back in the Dave and Debbie Vertulo 83V.
Yeah, Peter Murphy Classic, of course, I know it's a big race, and I'm definitely excited. It's my second time running it. I don't really know Peter personally. We said what's up here a couple of times, but I know he's a great guy and a really good racer too. So I'm excited for this race, and I like Hanford too. I'm definitely getting used to the wing speed at Hanford. It's just super weird in the 410. So much wing speed, I gotta get used to that. But yeah, Hanford's always 2 lanes and fast, and seems to be always pretty racy once you get the hang of it. And I think the more we run there, the better we'll be getting. So yeah, I'm excited for this weekend, and hopefully it'll do good.
Piloting the Keller Motorsports entry, Kaleb Montgomery, talking about what he calls his home track, a place that he started racing at a few years back and has a lot of laps at, and has some good rapport with Peter Murphy.
After a recent rain out at Chico, which wasn't very awesome because the drive's not very short for me. It's about a nice solid 6 hours. So it'll be great to get back in the race car and get 2 nights of racing. I'll be running the 410 both nights, and then my car on the SCCC night on Saturday with the 360s, which will be awesome. Getting back in the double duty, really looking forward to it. Hanford, a lot of people don't know, that's kind of where I grew up racing, so to speak. I used to get a lot of local shows in there growing up in 2016, 17, and heck, 18, maybe even all the way to 2020. I would just run local Hanford shows because there used to be about 18 of them a year when Bobby ran the joint. And I feel like I got my feet wet there, and it's just somewhere where I really grew and learned as a race car driver over the years, and really looking forward to going to the Peter Murphy Classic, because before I was even a part of the 410, which is every year before this year, really, I would watch the likes of Kyle Hirst and Jason Myers battle it out. So hopefully one day I can etch my name into those record books with their names, because that's a very heavy list to be a part of, and only hitters win the Peter Murphy Classic. So it's definitely an awesome event, and looking forward to 2 nights of it. So let's see what we can do. I think my best run there in the 360 is maybe 5th or something with SCCT. Don't quote me on that, but hopefully we can build off of that and get a couple more spots and run up in the front. That's what we're really looking for.
One of the drivers that we've seen on a regular basis in the last few years is Nick Parker from Tucson, Arizona, but recently relocating to Chico, and he's looking to get some more track time at Kings.
I've met Peter a few times. Actually, the trip up to Skagit last year, we ended up hanging out with him, and he showed me around his place over there behind the back straightaway, and pretty neat place, He's got a shop and a house, and it's real snuck in the back, so that was pretty cool. And no, I've actually met. Now, last year was the first time I met him, and he seems like a really cool guy. And I mean, a lot of these guys from Australia are, as you probably know, my crew chief Sean, he's from Australia, and they're just all around good people. So, and what he's done for the sport, what he's done up there in Skagit alone, that place is beautiful, and putting on as much money as he does for the Dirt Cup. That's, it's really big for the community and for 410 sprint cars, so no, nothing but good words about him. So
okay. And then anything specific about Hanford?
Yeah, I mean, I've been there a few times. It's more of my style of track. It's long, wide open. Get a little bit more time to think down the straightaways than I'm used to compared to like Placerville or Merced or even Chico. It races like a short track, and now just looking forward to getting down there. And we got the 410 stat back in, got it in just yesterday, and so looking to be competitive, So yeah, I'd just like to thank all my sponsors. We got Parker Automotive, Rock Knocker, Metal Tech Fabrication, TDR Concepts, and Kaeding Performance, Tyner Hirst. It's just right up the road here. They've helped us out a lot this year, and of course my family. They all make it happen, and it's been a big and expensive move to get up here, but we're happy we're here and looking to do some racing. Hopefully we can get some better finishes in, and we've been struggling a little bit with this car and the motors, and just can't find the right package. So hopefully we'll come in this week looking a lot better. So
well, it'll be a second race of 2023 in the United States. Joel Myers Jr. ready to return to Kings Speedway.
Peter's always been great for the sport, so definitely awesome to give back to him and support his race. Hoping for a better weekend than we had in Antioch to keep going our California swing. Willie's down here for this weekend, so hopefully we have a good weekend.
Okay, perfect. That'll work. Traveling all the way from Oregon, Tanner Holmes back at Hanford. Last time he was there for the Anthony Simone Classic.
No, we're really looking forward to this year's, Peter Murphy Classic. It's always a big race in California and kind of, I guess, across the whole West Coast in the United States for 410 racing goes. Peter did a lot for the sport, still doing a lot for the sport. Doing a lot between Kings Speedway and Gadget, two totally different places, and we're excited to support it and see what we can do in the 410 portion. $11,000 on the line Saturday. That's a good chunk of change as well, and just a lot of prestige, I kind of feel like, around it. So definitely a race you want to put your name on. And like I said, we're happy to support it. As Peter, has done a lot for sprint car racing, especially out west here, and trying to bring 410s back to where they should be.
Jonathan Allard will be making his 2023 debut with the NARC 410 series back in the Williams Motorsports number 0, and he's got some wonderful things to share about Peter Murphy, as well as his excitement to get back to racing in his native country.
So I'm very excited to come back and get started a little bit earlier than we did last year with the same opportunity with the Williams Motorsports team and the Dolphins team. They've, again, pulled things together and provided me a great opportunity to come do what I love. And it's really interesting at this part in my career. We've won a lot of these races, but it's time to really just kind of soak it all in and still compete to win. I wouldn't really want to be out there if I didn't think we had the ability to win. So I think we do. I think we've got car speed. I'm getting my feet back on the ground, especially in New Zealand. We got the car good, and we've got some good things happening. So I think we have every opportunity to be up front, and I hope it's this weekend because, as you said, Pete's an amazing person. I've known Pete for a long time. We share a lot of the same interests. We've kind of grown up the same way with limited funds and had to really forge our own way in the racing scene and kind of beg, borrow, do whatever we could to get a ride. So we had a lot of things in common, and we clicked right away. I mean, most people click with Peter Murphy anyway because he's just one of those guys. You don't find people in racing that everybody respects and enjoys, and Pete is that guy. So we're fortunate to have him. He puts his heart and soul into anything he does. He was a very talented race car driver. And like I said in the video, he was also a very talented break dancer. And he's a talented promoter. So we're fortunate to have him. And he puts on one hell of a show. So let's hope everybody gets there and enjoys it.
Billy Aton of Benicia is our next guest. Last time he was at Hanford, he got upside down in the B main. He's looking to improve off of that. And here's what he's got to say about his season so far.
It's kind of awesome that Peter's putting on all these big money shows, and we're excited to race. Be able to race for the money that him and NARC are putting up. We're just looking for a good outing. Every time we turn around, something's broke. We've had the absolutely worst start to a sprint car year I think we've ever had. We're into the what? We've had 4 races, and we're into our backup car already. It's not looking good.
And our last guest is Cole Macedo. Cole Macedo, part of that Tarleton Racing number 21 entry. Peter Murphy and the Tarleton family very close and have great rapport. And Cole Macedo talking about his hopes of trying to park it in Victory Lane this weekend at Kings.
Yeah, just excited to get back here racing with Drew and Nate and Kobe here at Tarleton Motorsports. And we've been pretty fast this year, so with the 360 underneath the hood. And so hopefully that correlates into the 410 racing. We finally get to do a little bit of 410 racing, and I'm excited about that. And then just the whole Peter Murphy Classic deal is I know is a big thing, and it'd be really cool for Tarleton Racing's resume along with my own to add that to it. So Pete puts a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this race, and I'm sure it'll be a great event, and just happy to come support him. And with him driving the Tarleton car back in the day, and we got a pretty good relationship with Pete and all he's done, and it would be pretty awesome and surreal to win his race.
Well, that's going to do it for Inside NARC. We hope you enjoyed these interviews. We hope that you enjoyed the racing so far this year. Be sure and come out to Kings Speedway on Friday and Saturday night for the Peter Murphy Classic. Be there and bring a friend because it's going to be a great night of racing. For more information on the NARC 410 Sprint Series, visit narc410.com.